I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to make laundry detergent. It is the easiest way to save money, and it's not inconvenient at all. If it was, I wouldn't be able to do it with my busy schedule. So just to start off, there's basically 3 main ingredients that you're going to get from the store. They can be located in any laundry aisle, any store that you go to. 20 Mule Team Borax, Arm & Hammer, Super Washing Soda, Fell's Naphtha. Every time that you make a big batch of the laundry detergent, the only thing you need to keep buying is going to be 1 bar, because you use 1 bar each time. The other boxes of the other powders last a very, very long time. The only tools that you will need: a glove. You just need one. I would designate it just for the laundry detergent, because when we get to the part that you're mixing it, your hand's going to be really dry and it'll completely dry out your skin if you don't have a glove on when you do it. Get a paint stirring stick. The measuring cup, you just use 1 cup of 2 of the ingredients. And so the cup I just wash and I just use regularly, not a big deal. But I use my own cheese grater and pot that I have specifically for this. And the reason being, the only thing, there's 2 steps in it that take maybe a little bit of time, but you can actually be doing it when you watch TV, which is what we do. And my husband, while I'm busy on some stuff, if he has time and he's watching TV, he'll go ahead and grate it. So first step you want to do is you have the Fell's Naphtha bar. I'm going to kind of show this without spilling it. You want to grate it so it is that size. I used to grate it on the big ones, but now I grate it on the smallest bit that you can have. And the reason being, when you boil it in water, if it's really big, it takes a long time. You're gonna try and liquefy it, so you don't want it in big chunks or anything like that. I figured I'd show you all the steps. So there's how much the soap is. So I'm going to put this in, and just enough where the water is over the soap. So that's about 1/3 of the way full. Don't mind our dirty dishes. Alright, I have it on high, and while it is on high and heating up, this is one thing that you're going to use your paint stirrer for, and you're just going to slowly stir it. And you'll be able to tell when it is all the way through, because right now I'm lifting it onto the paint stick and I can still see some chunks. So you're just going to do it till it's all the way through. And the thing is that when you're grating it, you're going to have that last bit of soap so you're going to have like 1 chunk. So I always try and make sure that that 1 chunk is completely done. Yeah, you're just going to keep checking on that. So you don't have to stir constantly or anything. I would just wait a little bit, stir some more, just keep checking its progress. While you're doing that, something that I do, if you just open up this box and then use a cup of it, and then you just keep it open, your powder is going to harden, because you're not going to like go through the laundry detergent super fast. So what I do is I actually have 2 designated containers where, like, on the top I put borax, and then over here I put washing soda. Anyways, label them. So while your soap is going and we're waiting on that, we're going to go ahead and fill the drum. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 1 cup of each of these. What we're going to do is we're going to put and I'm kind of working it in like this, since it doesn't have a funnel to pour in it nicely. This is 1 cup of the borax. I'm going to set it over there just to make sure I don't use the same thing. And then you have a cup of the washing soda. That's all you do with that. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and fill it. I don't think it matters if it's hot or cold water, but I was told to do it with hot water. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Another reason why you want to fill your soap only with the minimal amount of water is because it's easier to guess how much room you're going to need to leave in the drum. Because once the soap is completely disintegrated in here, you're going to add it last, and then you're going to close the lid. So I'm testing it out. It looks... Wow, that went really fast. Derek did a really good job of completely grating this. So I'm going to take it down here, and I'm going to put it on hot. Okay, while this is filling up, since you're using your paint stirring stick for that, you can use it on this. It's all for the same thing. So especially when you first start putting the water in, you're going to start stirring that washing soda and the borax in with the water that you're adding. And I think the washer or something must be on, because my water is not going very fast. You want to stir it until you get all the clumps out. And I'm glad I looked over because my soap looks like it is all the way at the top and it's about to boil over, so I just turned the heat down a little bit. It works a lot better. I did see that plop, so that one end piece that I was talking about that you end up with did not disintegrate all the way, but all the other stuff did, which is fine. So we'll actually be able to pull that out later. So I try to scrape as much as possible off of there. So now that's in, we're gonna go ahead and quick add as much hot water as possible. If you were going to add the soap at the end, like if you were gonna fill this and then add that last, which is usually what I do, it does not really matter. You're gonna fill it to probably about there, right where this thing is with water, and then add the rest. It shouldn't go overboard, but if you want to just keep it safe, maybe like ½ an inch underneath where this lip thing is right here. So while I'm still filling this, I'm still stirring just so that, you know, it's dissolving as much as possible and it's trying to get as even as possible. I decided to move it up on this counter just because it's easier to stir instead of leaning over and stirring. I don't know if you can see, it's about right here. I'm going to fill it until it's about right here. Just so there's like maybe an inch from the top, because then you'll get more laundry detergent out of it. Alright, just so you can see how full it is. It's probably about 2 inches from the top, but that's plenty. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid on and seal it all the way. Now, if there is a piece of advice that I could go ahead and give that's gonna make mine different from what other people are gonna tell you on how to make the laundry detergent, is the amount of time that you're gonna wait in between making it and portioning it out. I did the burping method with the lid where you open up one edge and then you push down in the middle and it lets out the rest of the air and stuff. Okay, so when other people tell you to make the laundry detergent, they're going to tell you that when you get done, from the time you get done, so it's 7:16 right now, then to wait just 24 hours and then to portion it out. Here's the problem with that. If you do that, you need like a cement mixer to basically break it up and mix it before you put it in the bottles to make sure that it's even and stuff. It's kind of like putting your arm in a 5-gallon drum of Jello, like where you have to pull really hard and it takes a long time. So what I do is I actually wait 48 hours. And if you wait 48 hours, the consistency of it is liquid. And so I'm gonna go ahead and wait 48 hours, and then I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how I portion it out. So this didn't take that long to make. The longest part so far has just been to grate the soap. Do it while you're watching TV. Do it while you're at your kid's basketball game. Who cares? It'll smell lovely where you're sitting at. So you grate that, you boil the water while that's going, you put in a cup of each ingredient, fill it with hot water, leave a little bit of space for that, dump it in, put the lid on, don't have to worry about it for 48 hours. And then I will show you what to do after that. Okay, for this next part, the laundry detergent's all the way done. It's ready to be portioned, so now you have to get your bottles ready. I wanted to show you guys what these look like before I went ahead and cleaned them. As you can see, there's all the stuff that falls down. This can be prevented because what happens is after you put the laundry detergent in there, it's going to, if it sits for a while, if you move on to the next one, you have to shake it up before you portion it out. So say this is brand new and you're going to use it, you're going to shake it as much, you can feel when there's not that much resistance. Then when it's done, you portion it out, and anytime you go to use it, I'll just shake it once or twice and then use it just to make sure it doesn't start building up again. But the reason why there's all of this is because if you shake it up and then you open it and pour it, you're going to get some down the side. So what I suggest is after you shake it, where the handle is, you're gonna lean towards your hand. The lid's still gonna be on. When you lean it back like this, all the liquid that gets here is going to drain back down into the bottle, down here. Shake it up, you tilt it back, and then you undo it, and then you can pour without having all this stuff drip down the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and real quick I'm going to clean the outsides of the bottle, and then we're going to go ahead and portion them out. Show you how I do that. I already wiped down all the bottles off, so they're all clean. A huge pointer that is that I would do these size bottles, because if you use the really big ones, yeah, you're not going to need as many, but when you have to go to shake it up, it's going to be very heavy and it's going to be very difficult to shake. So these are more manageable. Just if you're going to go ahead and do this, just ask any of your friends, because everybody, you know, uses laundry detergent. So you can get these bottles very easily. You don't have to go through all of them. And then, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and check on it. And it's always hard to open because it kind of creates a vacuum. All right, so it's all liquidy. Earlier I talked about how you're gonna have the stirring stick, the one glove, because I just use my right hand when I do all this. And then the other things that I did not show earlier in the supplies is going to be a funnel. If you have a bigger one, it'll definitely work better. This one's very small, but it's all I could find when I was buying them. So, and then a big measuring cup like this. There'll be some on the lid. I just like to use all of it. So we're gonna put it in there. And like I said, if you only wait 24 hours to do this, this will be very chunky, whereas now it's just very watery. I said to wait at least 48 hours. I have been really busy, so I actually waited 4 days instead of 2. So it's definitely liquidy. Very, very easy to stir. And I should have my glove on actually when I'm doing this. And the good thing about this is that since it's laundry detergent that you're making, you can put whatever towel underneath it, because you're going to wash it in this laundry detergent anyway, so it's not going to ruin anything. So I always put a towel down just because it can get a little messy. I've never actually had it be this liquidy before, so I guess the longer you wait, the better it is liquid-wise. Because what I do is, if you only have 2 days to wait, what you're going to do is scoop out a big portion, and then you're going to fill all of these, and then you're going to put the lids on, give them a really good shake, and then pour it all in, and that'll mix it. But since it's so liquidy and there isn't any chunks, I don't need to put it into the laundry bottles in order to shake it up and break down those chunks. So I'm going to go ahead and put my glove on, and I'm going to feel around and make sure that there is no chunks in it. And if there is, then I can go ahead and show you that method. Imagine that, there's no chunks in it. So I guess that's what we just need to do, is just wait 4 days and then it's ready to go. Usually what I would do before is I'd get a cup full, and then I'd take my glove and I'd break it up, because there would be a little bit of chunks and stuff. We're not getting any right now, but you want to keep an eye on it. The second that you can see it, you want to slow down your pour. So it's actually good to have a smaller funnel, because if you had a big one and then you had it full and then you realized that you were at the top, the liquid would spill over. I'm filling them to about here, where your top thing is. You can see when you look inside, it'll be probably about right here, so that there is that little bit of room, so then when you shake it, it's not completely filled to the top. You'll have room to be able to move that liquid around if it does clump up at all. Oh, found a little chunk, a little bit lower in there, and this is the chunk that I couldn't find when I was dissolving the soap. It's what you end up with, the very last piece. So I'm going to put that aside, and hopefully that's the only chunk that was in there. And just remember, every time that you're pouring, that you're looking and making sure that you're not overflowing it. It's just an itty bitty tiny part of the soap, so I'm just going to put that over here. And yeah, that's all it is. It's just, there's just a little bit of foam left, and then, I don't know if you can see that, a little bit of soap, just a tiny bit. So that was at the very bottom. Other than that, there wasn't any other liquid. So that's awesome, because what you would usually have to do, and what you'll have to do if you do it after 2 days, if you try and fill your bottles, is you would fill it like this, only every time that you portion some in here, in order to pour it into the bottle, you take your glove hand and you'd have to kind of work it so you loosen up all that that clumped up stuff. And you'll know what I'm talking about if you decide to do it. This is the first time I've let it go on 4 days and it's all like completely liquefied. I'll have to leave it in the comments and let you guys know like tomorrow when we use the laundry detergent if it clumped up or anything like that. So what I do now is I'm going to, you know, rinse off this glove. I'm going to clean all this stuff. But the stuff that I use just for the laundry detergent, the green containers where I put the powder in, where it could seal so that the powder doesn't get hard or anything like that. I'm going to clean out this bucket and I'm going to put all my supplies in here. So this is the only thing that's going to take up room for your laundry supplies, is just having a 5-gallon drum. Because you can fit the pot in here, the cheese or like the grater, all that stuff will fit in here. So if you have any questions at all, let me know. Feel free to leave a comment. Yeah. And I really hope that this helped you guys out. I know that somebody gave me the instructions, but they gave me the ingredients, but they didn't really explain everything that you're supposed to do. So I don't really know how everybody else does it, but this is what works for me, and I've been doing it for about 2 years now, I want to say. All right.